This case is absolutely crazy. I don't know how nobody is talking about it. 4 police officers and ex-military members have been charged and arrested for kidnapping an Orange County billionaire and his family to try to extort $37 million out of them. You can literally read about this on the DOJ.gov, by the way. The victim is a billionaire from China, and he's currently residing in Irvine, California, along with his wife and kids. The 4 perpetrators included one retired Los Angeles Sheriff's deputy, another former LA Sheriff's deputy who now owns a private investigation service business, a former member of the Australian military, and a former member of the British military living in Australia who now owns and operates a private investigation and asset recovery service. Allegedly, these 4 were hired by another Chinese billionaire because they had some sort of rivalry with the victim about asset ownership in their company. The company's name is called Jiangzi Senorgchem? That doesn't sound Chinese. This guy owned a valuable stake in the company that I named earlier. And he had been involved in years of litigation and lawsuits involving a partner with this company. Now, the Department of Justice has also identified somebody affiliated with that company as one of the co-conspirators. But for whatever reason, they're not naming this person. They have not named this person. I don't know why. These are the key facts. On June 17th, 2019, these officers and ex-military showed up at the victim's doorstep. One of the former LA deputy sheriffs, he pulled up in an unmarked LASD vehicle. This is why I think there were more co-conspirators than the 4 that were named. Because if these 2 sheriff's deputies are former deputies and they are now retired, how did they get their hands? How did he get his hands on the unmarked LASD vehicle? You normally have to turn your keys in when you no longer work for the department, right? This tells me that there is at least one co-conspirator who is still currently working for the LASD, who has not been arrested or investigated. So the former deputy named Lankford shows his sheriff's badge. Then the other one named Codesart identified himself as an immigration officer. He's not one, but he claimed to be one. This got the victim to open the door, and once they were inside, they held them hostage, took all their phones, and the victim and his family were literally just inside the house, stuck there for hours and hours. Additionally, the victim was beaten up, he was slammed against a wall, choked, threatened with deportation, and he was warned that if he doesn't transfer $37 million immediately, that he was going to lose his son because they were going to be placing him in foster care. Their plan worked. The victim did sign the paperwork to transfer the assets over because, of course, he was being held hostage and being threatened. He feared for his family's safety. This story seriously makes you wonder, though. If 2 former sheriff's deputies and 2 former military were involved with this, imagine how many times something like this has happened. And it turns out like a member of the police force was actually involved, like a member of law enforcement was involved. I mean, if you think about it, like they're the best people to get away with these kinds of crimes, right? Like how many hitmen are there out there? How many robbers are there out there who've never been caught, who are actually a member of the law enforcement squad?